Today's stream is brought to you by Diet Coke. Who knew? Yes, I've finally been sponsored, is what I would say right now if I had actually ever been sponsored by anybody. Diet Coke, it's nature's finest brown fluid. Oh, I just poured it all over my monitor and keyboard. Well, it's all right. It's designed for that. I didn't do that. Ooh. It's getting warm here, so the days of me streaming in a coat are probably over. I'm going to sweat my ass off if I try to do that. So we'll be streaming in a shirt from now on. And then when it gets really hot, I'm going to be wearing shorts, and it's not going to be pretty. So you should be happy now that my feet are, my legs are moderately covered at this point in time. How's everybody doing on Thursday? So, what's going to happen today? We're going to have a regular stream. There's going to be some flying around in a very interesting plane. There's going to be a short break, and then I'm going to switch to the music category, and I'm going to play guitar today. I don't know how long it's going to go today. Today, I'm very much, I just feel really discombobulated and unplanned. I worked all morning, and I got a stream for an hour and a half, and I'm going to go back to, I'm going to be working from home for the afternoon, so at least that's nice. I was at the office. But the good thing is we can relax. Now, who was here yesterday? Raise your hands. Yesterday we had the new Dornier DO31. Yeah, I thought there was more. We're switching to the green camouflage. Yesterday, we were not able to get it to fly vertically. The Dornier is a very interesting experimental aircraft that includes 2 engines that go forward and 4 engines in the wingtips that go up and down or make you go up so you can take off vertically. Yesterday, I was struggling to find the button that lets you take off vertically. And I was like, well, you know what I'm going to need to do? I'm going to need to read the manual. So what I did was I read the manual. And it really helped out because otherwise I never would have found those buttons. What city's this year? Mannheim. Okay. We're going to fly the Mannheim Heidelberg area, and we're going to do it in the daytime. Just because, again, there's been a city update. It really looks nice there. We're going to fly around in the daytime. Say around 5:48 p.m. We'll have to see what the weather's like. All right. So yes, in fact, there is a manual for this new Dornier DO31 experimental aircraft that includes vertical takeoff and landing capabilities, makes it a very unusual plane. They only made 3 of these. They're very cool looking too. You'll see. And only 2 were airworthy. And we have one of those too. Well, we bought, for $10, we bought a simulation of one of those too, which is pretty cool. And the thing that was confusing most is that they were calling a lot of stuff Copilot mode, Copilot this. Well, the Copilot is this computerized autopilot system specifically designed for flying this particular aircraft. So that's what I was confused. I was like, well, who's the Copilot? I'm flying. But apparently there is the Copilot just refers to this secondary system. All righty, let's take a look. Hopefully we can start it up soon. I have the checklist here. Right here. Checklist for starting up. Let's see what it looks like. Boy, I don't even know if we can't get out of here, unfortunately. Actually we could. We could probably fit through there. Well, let's try it. Then can we go over there? Yeah. I bet we can. We're in a really weird place, though. Normally, a plane this big, I don't think would be able to fit through here. And yeah, we cannot. How you doing, Sides? I think I figured out how to fly this plane. As I mentioned before yesterday, you got to read the manual. There's no getting around it on this plane because it's so complicated. So what I did yesterday was read the manual. Okay. All right. So we're going to start off, and I'm also looking at the quick it's up here. Okay, electrical power. I know, but as you see, there was no way to figure out where everything else was. Okay, we also need, apparently we need beacon lights on according to this. Well, that shouldn't matter. Actually, we do not need the beacon lights on according to the checklist. Okay, battery generator switches off, lights off. Okay, no, battery on, parking brake, beacon lights on. For some reason, I'm just doing what the thing is. Now it says we should be able to go, none of these are important. Okay, we should be able to go and try to actually start an engine. So it says, engine start cover, master switch for engine 1, ignition switch on, starter on. And let's see if it looks like it's starting. It looks like it's starting. You can see here one of them is spinning and the other one is stable. One of them is spinning up. That's good. You can hear it starting. All right, that's good. Okay. Monitor N2 above 18%. N2 is, shoot, it's one of these. Here, I think. Oof. All right, I don't care about that. Monitor N2. Engine 1 master fuel switch on. Where is that? Engine 1 master fuel switch. See, I don't know if, I might have to look that up in the manual because these are fuel pumps. And those are cutoff switches. So now I don't necessarily know where that master fuel switches are. Unless they're down here. No, this is the co-pilot stuff. AP. You don't need that. Yeah, okay. So where is the engine 1 master fuel switch? Now I'm looking at the manual and it actually shows pictures of where everything is on the thing. So you shouldn't have to hunt around. To get the engine started. Okay, so I'm looking for engine start procedure. Maybe it hasn't figured that out yet. Yeah, oh well. Did the engine successfully start? So I don't see where that fuel is. All right, we're going to try to start the second engine. And none of these are master. Yeah, there's definitely a master fuel switch somewhere. Okay, is it one of these? And I don't know where it is. This is the button I was missing now. The vertical, to open the verticals. Let's see, warning lights test. Yeah, they all work. Master fuel switch, where would you be? Alright. It's not here. Windshield wiper. Yeah, I think these are going to turn off unless I can find this master fuel. Defuel. Fuel pumps. There's 8 of them. All right, back to the manual then. Autopilot. None of these are the fuel masters, right? Fuel, alternator, electrical power, transponder, that's all there. Interior lighting, landing lights, these are lights. Yeah, this is going to be problematic to start this unless I can figure out where all the controls are. And specifically, I don't see where you turn on the fuel. So that's why the engines aren't staying started. All right, well, let me take a quick look. There is, but it's not going to work. There's the checklist. I mean, there's a checklist. We can do the checklist, conventional engine start procedure, battery on, beacon on, engine start cover, engine starter cover closed. Okay. I tried it this one, engine master on, engine master fuel on. Okay, well, this should tell me where it is. Engine, so it is here. Somewhere here. Oh, it's that. Okay, so these have to be on. All right, now we might be able to start it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay, off. Turn all these off. Now we should be able to turn this on, and this on. And let's see if it even tries to start. Yeah. I think we have to reset it somehow. And I don't know how to reset it. These are off. Okay, at least I know where they are now. All right, let's try it. Where we're gonna, I'll get this eventually. This is just a tricky thing. We're gonna turn off the battery. Okay, turn on the battery. Do we need the generators on? Generator switches off. Alternator switches. I think we may have to turn those on after. Engine on. See if the starter does anything here. Yeah, no, the starter's busted. And the same is true of this one. Interesting. Yeah. And yeah, I guess once you mess up the starter procedure, it won't let you start. That's kind of a bug. Okay. Battery on, engine on. And before this, was there anything we needed to do? Everything off. Parking brake on. So there. Okay, we turn all these off. Maybe closing this cover and then opening again is what we need to do. Yeah, that's not helpful. Parking brake on. Yeah, all this stuff is. We can check all these, right? Then you go to conventional engine start procedure, reset page, battery on, beacon on, engine starter cover open. And then yeah, it's not, and you can see they're not starting up even using the guided assistance procedure. Interesting. Wow. What do we do? Parking brake on, conventional starter procedure. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a problem that we'll have to deal with. I kind of thought that maybe we wouldn't be able to start it up. So we're gonna start started. There's got to be a way of doing it. I got pretty close. I think you have to. I think it only gives you one shot at starting them, and I didn't know where the you have to turn the fuel switches on after they start spinning, and I didn't do that because I didn't know where they were. Freaking ridiculous. Hold on a second here. So So yeah, we still have to figure out, and I'm gonna try this again. And what I'm gonna do is try it offline and make sure I can start up the plane offline. At least I did play with it in vertical mode. I will be able to get it off the ground, just not start it up. And that's a whole nother. Starting up again is a whole nother issue. But I've seen this. You know, I'm looking at the checklist, and I followed the checklist, and the only thing I missed was turning those fuel switches on. Although, you know, shouldn't. I almost want to try it again, but I'll try it. I want to get good at it before I try it online. Anyway, we did find the button, which is very well hidden, that opens up the 8 engines on the wingtips. All right. So this is the plane. Oh yeah, I want to put that thing, this the probe they call it. Zoom in here, go down here, so we can see what these settings are. Probe, show. The probe is this big thing. I guess it's a refueling probe, but it just looks really cool. So, and you know, we're gonna have it on. All right, so we're at the front of the runway. So what I did was I found that the button we needed to push was this one here, the Copilot vertical engine control. And now we finally have what I couldn't do yesterday. Well, yesterday was the first day I bought the plane. Is the ability to look in and see the 4 engines through the top and bottom open. Now they're now open. That are designed to lift the wingtips and allow us to take off vertically. And they have a separate control, which I'm controlling with my foot, than I am with the actual. So I'm controlling those two in the middle. Well, there's the conventional ones. And what I'm going to do is go to full outside power. And you can see it just kind of lifts you right up. You can put the, we're going to put the gear up. Gear's coming up. And basically what you want to do is establish a nice altitude. And then start transitioning slowly by increasing forward thrust in your main engines, but not super fast. Where are we spinning? Let's see, so we're... Whoa. That's not good. It has some transitional issues, as you can see. And then as you get forward, when it transitions, we can reduce the thrust on the engines. Oops, let's increase it. Reduce the thrust on the outside engines. And they'll close up. And then we can turn off. Oh yeah, it's turned off automatically. Then we're transitioned to horizontal flight. This is Mannheim, Germany. They've recently done. Look, you can see all this just gorgeous scenery. They did a whole Western Germany remake, and that was just 2 days ago. So we're exploring a little bit. No, I did not copy. Now I'm copying. All right, so now we're fully transitioned to horizontal flight. Now, what we're not going to be able to do most likely is transition and land horizontally, which just seems, or land vertically. Because I tried that, and again, the transitions seem kind of rough. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, the transitions are rough in the V-22. By transition, I mean going from vertical flying to horizontal flying, like we're doing now. So, but we theoretically are able to turn those engines on. Where we got that trim trying to get us into the sky here. It seems to be real tail heavy, so it always wants to put the nose up. I'm not 100% sure why that is. I mean, we are carrying a fairly heavy fuel load. So, okay, and it's Hockenheim. All these cities have been redone. Mannheim, Hockenheim. What's the city list? Mannheim, Heidelberg, Karlsruhe, Stuttgart, Esslingen, Kell, and Strasbourg. Those are the list of cities that were done. Right, Hockenheim is one of them, I think. Maybe not. They're part of the Western Germany update, city update. What am I doing? This plane really wants to. Oh, I got these way up. Okay, you want to turn these engines down, or we're gonna overspeed. But I want to try to get low and fly over Mannheim here. I don't think this is going to be the greatest sight, even though it has a lot of windows. I don't think it's going to be the greatest sightseeing plane in the world because it's not maneuverable. It's really a truck. It's got this big cargo area in the back. Can't really see it, but you can go back there. It's pretty cool. I mean, generally it flies like a regular plane, but I'm really excited about it because it's so wild, it's so different, and that's why I like these different planes. This plane was apparently designed in 1969, 68, right around the moon landing time when they were doing really wild things. But it is not a practical design, and in fact, in general, these vertical takeoff and landing planes are not practical because of so much extra weight for all these most of the time we're lugging around these 8 little engines, and they're not on most of the time. So a lot of weight and complexity. Mannheim Water Tower. Oh, and there's like a cool tower. I'm guessing this is an old city feature. It's really quite pretty though. That's the Mannheim Water Tower. Interestingly, it looks like a water tower. And it looks like a building, but it's actually a water tower, I'm guessing. Otherwise, why would they call it that? We got lots of interesting looking bridges. Yeah, I have some of those big commercial planes, as you know. I got the 787, I got the Airbus 310 or 290 something. But they're just dull as dishwater fly. They want to. I mean, as soon as you take off, they want to go to 36,000 feet. They want to. It's hard to describe, but they're not landing. Get a little choppiness around here. That's good. Looks like some industrial sections there. But yeah, as my flights are always low and hopefully interesting. I mean, you're going to see a lot of buildings. Whereas jetliners, you're looking at a cloud deck a lot of the time. I actually really appreciate that people want to fly realistic flights. But as I like to say, every single one of my flights, if I did them in reality, would result in a knock on the door from the local flight, FAA, whoever that is, saying, you can't do that, You can't fly. Okay, what's our speed? 190 to 212. There we go, yeah. All right, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to about 1,000 feet, and we're going to open up the doors and see if we can transition back to vertical. I don't think it's going to be possible, but we're going to try it. Okay, give it a second to catch up. A little Diet Coke here. First of all, you remember I was looking for that button for literally 20 minutes, and I never would have found it if I didn't look at the manual. It's right in front of me, too. It doesn't have a label. Wait, it's still catching up. Computer's catching up with all the stuff we wanted to do. There we go. It's right here in the middle. It's this blue thing, Copilot Vertical Engine Control. So you push that, and the doors open. That's literally the button that causes the doors open. And then I can start increasing the power. You can see here I'm using my right, and it kind of does these weird things over there. So I'm increasing the power to the 8 engines in the wings. I'm putting some flaps down. Now we should start slowing down. And I'm reducing power specifically to the power to these 2 engines. We are slowing down, so that's kind of cool. I don't want to go up too fast. And now it's starting to want to pull the front of the engine, or the front of the. I'm like pushing down all the way. So I do. It's wanting to pull up. Okay, a little less power to my 8 engines to the side, a little less power to my main engine. Let's see if we can transition to fully vertical flying, like a helicopter. But I want to see if I can also go down. Okay, now vertical speed, we are starting to settle down. Okay, I'm watching my vertical speed. We're still going up. Now we're starting to go down, and we're basically going at 0 speed. So I can kind of turn around and okay, so a little less power to those engines. I'm at 3,000 feet. It's going to take a long time to descend. I'm reducing power to the engines on the side. But yeah, most planes can't do this. We're basically hovering. That's pretty wild. Okay, a little less power. Less power to the main engines, or to the side engines. Less power to the front engines. I want to see if I can get a little more negative vertical speed. Okay, there we go. We're starting to drop down a bit here. There we go. A little more power. I'm going to control my vertical speed, though. So right around there. Okay, so we're slowly going to come down to the ground. And as I get down close to the ground, I'm going to increase the power to the engines on the side. The side engines. There's 8 little jets on the side, 2 big ones, which also I believe produce downward thrust, but it's hard to tell. It doesn't want to go to 0, is the weird thing. I mean, to 0 vertical or forward. But we are maintaining a solid downward velocity that's not too big and not too low. So I think we'll be able to land. We're going to try to land. Like in a field. We got to lose another 1,400 feet, though. It's going to take a while. And if like I'm pulling back all the way, I'm really trying to keep it from moving forward, but it's kind of hard. That's the limit. Okay, a little more power to the engines as we approach there. I'm putting our gear down. I'm watching our vertical speed, which is negative 1,500 feet per second. Per minute, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know how to get it to hover completely because I'm pulling back all the way. Maybe less forward and more of this. More of this. Okay, well, that's one way to land. Can I put some brakes on? Okay. Well, I'm not, I was hoping to land like a helicopter, and that's just like a short takeoff and landing. Um, we could take off like a helicopter right now. It's easy. All we do is advance the thrust, and you can see what it looks like here. I'm using my right foot to advance the thrust all the way on these engines, and it pops right off the ground. Put our gear up. Ooh, what's over here? And then we can start adding power to our main engines and reducing power to the side engines, which I'm doing with my foot pedals. And it should start transition like that. But it's maybe less from there. I don't know. I'm pushing forward all the way, and it's not forwarding. It's gonna turn over. It's gonna stall out. Yeah, there's some flight model issues here. Yeah, that's gonna crash. So they did a new set of flight models. I think somebody, when it was on, I saw a YouTube video, and somebody was, yeah, really, well, hey, this is the thing. This is a new plane. I don't fully think I haven't fully read the manual. Is the important thing. Although I have read more of it than I did yesterday. But I'm wondering whether there is, in fact, a balance issue. Sometimes there's a balance issue with planes where they are too balanced in the back, and they will tend to do that. They'll tend to nose up. So I was pushing the stick all the way forward, and it was going, my stick's all the way forward. Should go down. But the thing is, the stick is only, if you're not moving forward, the stick can't do anything. So I think I didn't apply enough power from the main engines quickly enough. Let's try it again. I want to try it real quickly. See if we can do that transition. Because we're going to be here. So we'll do the same thing. We're going to open this up. Vertical truths that we're supposed to monitor these 10 dials here. These 8. You can see these needles are coming up. Supposed to wait until they stop moving before we actually try to accelerate up. Okay, so here they come. This is the 8 engines spooling up in that kind of center console there. There's 16 dials there. There's a temperature and a pressure, I think. They are fully spooled up. So they're ready to go. So now we can take off by advancing the throttle simply on the engines on the outside, which I'm doing right now. And there we go. It's at full. Now, meanwhile, I have to counter the tendency for it to want to raise up. But I haven't put the main engines on at all. So now I'm going to blast those babies. So doing that now gives me forward movement. Giving me forward movement allows me to control the stick. Meanwhile, we're going to reduce the lifting engines. So now the wings are starting to move you, and we can reduce those entirely, or we can just press this button here again. Oh, yeah, it's off. It automatically turns off once you get to a certain speed. So that's a transit. Oh, it's far more complicated than driving a car. But I mean, it's far more complicated than flying a regular plane. I mean, this whole system here is just crazy with those levers. Those levers open up those doors and start the engines up. But again, that transition is crazy. And the main problem I have is that if you look where on my gauges to the left, there's an airspeed gauge, and then there's a big gap, and then there's fuel and AOA. Well, in that big gap, it should have two bars, which tell me what those two main engines are doing. I don't care about the 8 engines, although it's nice. So every time I make a change I have to look to see where my throttle is. And that's not ideal. Wait, sorry. All right, we're gonna try to come back and do another do another transition to vertical. So where do we take off from? Took off from here. All right. So we're gonna do a transition. So we're gonna open up those doors again, and we're gonna start bringing up the thrust on them. or bring down the thrust on the main engines. And up the thrust on the engines on the side. Those 4 engines there. And we're using our forward momentum, but not the main engines to move forward. I'm going to bring the gear down again. But I want to try landing as vertically as possible. So less forward movement, full power to the engines. Well, maybe not full power. You want to go down. Okay, less engine, less power. A little more power. Yeah, it definitely doesn't like to control that easily. I gotta say, it's hard. It's a hard to control plane. A little more power to the side engines, less power to the front engines. More power to the side engines. I'm pulling the stick all the way back, which I was doing before too. Less power to the front engines. More power to these engines. Full power to these engines. Yeah, that's full power. Oops. So it's going to tend to bounce if you have full power. Then you want to, like, yeah, tame these engines off. And that closes them off. Okay. I kind of figured out the vertical takeoff, but the vertical landing... Here, close those again. So we can turn this off like that. The transition from vertical to horizontal is not that bad. We'll do it again, for example. Okay. Main engines are not on. These open up. I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna let's see, flap to here. And I basically use my right foot to max out these side engines, which are spooling up right now. Right. And there it goes. And then it basically lifts off vertically like that. It takes a while to spool up those 8 engines. You can take the gear up, and then you start using my other throttle control to start those big engines that are facing forward. And then those take a while to speed up. I've got those on full. Meanwhile, we can start reducing the up engines. But we got to make sure we start moving forward, and those engines take a while to get any forward thrust going because they're jet engines, and when they're still, they don't have any movement. Okay, so we can reduce these now. That's interesting. Yeah, the thrust of those 8 engines is really, really noticeable. And then we can turn this off, and then we'll close that. Just turn it right off. All right. So the transition from vertical to horizontal is pretty easy for the vertical takeoff. But the transition from moving horizontally to a vertical landing is problematic because I can't get it to stop and hover. It always wants to move forward, and I'm not exactly. I think I'm doing it wrong. I don't think it's a problem with plane. I just think I have to practice it. But yeah, the other thing is once you get going, you got to take these throttles way back, or you're gonna get to overspeed pretty quickly. But it's a fantastic looking plane, though. I mean, it's a fantastically one of a kind looking plane, and that's part of the attraction. All right, let's try one more landing. We'll land here at Coleman AA base. We're going to turn around though, real high. We'll do kind of a traditional landing, rather than trying to do a well, that's too short. I wonder what Verms is like as far as an air base. I want to just do a regular landing, and then we'll switch over to the guitar part of the stream, the music part. It's the same thing. I'm not gonna like ever skip anything. This is really fun to fly, but I am totally getting better at it. And like last time, I could barely fly it, which was yesterday. And then today, I kind of read the manual, and though I did not get the plane started, I have a good feeling that next time I try to start it, it will, because I think I know what buttons to press. But I'm going to try it offline and see if I can start it up. I think we were pretty close. You have to get that fuel on at the right time, and you only get one chance. Yeah, we'll land back here. There, or we'll try to land at least. I'm excited about. Yeah, I got some more doors. I got those doors that I talked about. The doors on the side things, and I got those engines to actually run. So we made a huge progress. Now there's a bunch of things I have not figured out, and we did crash at least once. But it's an amazing plane. I mean, it's just a wild thing. It's just it's got a completely unique autopilot system that I have not tried yet. But some things are very fishy about the flight model, these transitions. But this plane was only there was only two of them made that were flight worthy. I'm gonna try to land here. I think it's landable. Why not? But what I did was there's actually a fairly large 50-page manual, and it's not for the plane; it's for the game plane. I mean, it's from AnyBuild. It's from the company that makes the plane, and it explained a lot of stuff, like exactly what these switches here are for the Copilot, this Copilot Hover Assist, STOVL Assist. All right, all right, we're gonna turn around here. Oh, we're gonna stall. Stall warning. Stall warning. Yeah, the other thing I realized was I was thinking, oh, you could probably land this plane at 120, but because of those short, stubby wings that don't provide a lot of lift, you have to be above 130, 140, or you will stall out. Choppy. That's okay. Someday we'll get a new computer. All right, starting to reduce power to the main engines. This is just a standard landing, which I haven't. I think I've tried. Power the main engines, flaps all the way. There's no reversers or brakes as far as I can tell. Whoa, what was that about? Interesting bounce effect. I think I'm overweight, and that might affect it. My parking brake on. That would have affected it. Yeah, the parking brake should have been off. That's what caused that bounce. Parking brake on during landing can cause that. Some people use that. Giorgio uses that on his airliners to help slow down, but it's a bad idea. I'm overweight. I've got 43% for landing, and I had my brakes on. So again, nothing is perfect. Nothing is going perfectly, but that's okay. All right, brake set. Now I want to just point out the other cool things you can do here is you can open. Jesus, that's tiny. How do you make that bigger? Um, we can open the rear hatch here, and that kind of opens nicely, kind of comes down, and we can take a look inside. It's pretty cool on the inside. Kind of well, it's not too finished out, but that's what it would have looked like. And, there's room for paratroopers and things like that, or I guess maybe a vehicle. You could put a Jeep in there, and then have it, and then you can use that same control to take the probe off, which I believe is a refueling probe, but I don't know for sure. But you could turn off the probe. So we can turn off the probe and close the, we're closing the back there. It's closed up and the probe's up. That's with the probe off. All right, so to shut down the engines, that's an interesting question. Shutting down the engines. These are all on, by the way. Okay, that's on. So I guess we could shut down the engines from here. And then we're going to shut off the power, which is turn all these lights off. And then we can turn off the power. Alternators are on. Interesting. Well, it's a really wild plane, and there it goes. You can kind of see it's already kind of shut itself down. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't have a conventional exhaust in the back of that engine. It has these are the same engines that are used in the Harrier jump jet, except they only use one of them, I believe, in a Harrier jump jet. But they're the exact same engine, and they're thrust vectoring engines, so the thrust comes out the sides and not the back. And then they can turn those nozzles down. Although this model does not simulate that. Those two nozzles can be turned down for vertical, but we don't really need it because we got those 8 engines that are pointing downwards. It's a really unusual design. I had no idea it even existed, honestly, until 2 days ago. So that's kind of exciting. And it's just a wildly interesting looking plane. What does it say back there on that yellow thing, by the way? Can we read that? It says danger, keep away, blah blah blah. That's probably the auxiliary power unit exhaust or something like that. Oh, and there are flaps. I was wondering, I could never see where the flaps are, but there are flaps. I don't think they'll go up and down, but they're hanging down there, and they're very hard to see in flight. But I keep thinking, wow, where it doesn't actually have flaps, does it? Because I was looking from up here. But now that I can see up close, I can see those flaps are there. I wonder if I just turn the battery power on, whether that will. Yeah, okay, flaps will come up with battery power. Interesting. Because I wasn't even sure they were doing anything, but now that I see how they work, I see that the flaps are functional. They're not very big, but they definitely help slow you down for landing. And I've definitely needed those to go to from horizontal flight to vertical flight. So I learned a bunch of things. Again, this is only the second day I've had this particular airplane. And it's an experimental craft that's quite different than everything else. That was fun, though. All right, I'm going to play guitar for maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So stick around for that if you want. I'm going to show my little end roll here. And then tomorrow will be a nice long Friday stream. It's going to be Friday, so I definitely plan on streaming tomorrow as well. Let's get out of here, and I'll see you soon in the guitar stream. Oh, let's move this here. Good. Let's see how we doing here. Webcam part 2. Yeah, I'm excited about, by the way, how you doing? Second part of the show, guitar, as usual. I'm excited about learning more about this Dorneo 31. I think I will get tired of it and go back to kind of more easier going planes. But there's a bunch of things I have not learned. Specifically on the DO, I have not learned yet how to operate the autopilot, which is unique among the other planes. It requires that you be a certain specific situation. And then unlike most autopilots, which will control altitude and direction, this autopilot controls pitch and angle and angle of the wings. So in other words, it's hard to describe, but it does keep you at a specific turn rate or a specific altitude, but not in the same way that other autopilots do. So we're gonna have to see how that works. Let's tune this up a little bit here. Alrighty. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. I am having a good one, and I'm going to play just some random songs on guitar, and then I'm back to work. I listen to the wind of my soul. Where I'll end up, well, I think only God really knows. I sat upon the setting sun. I never, I never needed water once. No, never. I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go. I swam upon the devil's lake. I'll never, 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 I'll never make the same mistake. No, never, never. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down the song. Just can't remember who to send it to. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I'd always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind to an easy time, my back turned towards the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. There's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about days to come. Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I'd always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You got to help me make a stand. You just got to see me through another day. And there's hours of time on the telephone line. Wait a minute. That's not the lyrics. Look down upon me, Jesus. Help me make a stand. That's repeated. Lord knows when the cold blows, it'll turn your head around. Oh man, I wish I remembered all the lyrics to all of these songs. I mean, you know, but these days at least it's easy enough to find. What did I do wrong there? So, yeah, okay, right. It's been walking my mind. Okay. Right. Well, if I do that verse, if we look down upon me, Jesus, you gotta help me make a stand. You just gotta see me through another day. My body's aching, my time is at hand. I won't make it any other way. I shouldn't redo these verses though. Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times that I could not find a friend. But I'd always thought that I'd see you, baby, one more time again now. Lord, I'd see you one more time again. There's just a few things running my way this time around me now. thought I'd see you smiling again. Man, I should just get the lyrics up so I don't have to stop in the middle. Remember that I forgot the lyrics. Okay, we'll just do another one. Well, there's something in the way she moves, looks my way or calls my name. It seems to leave this troubled world behind. If I'm feeling down and blue, troubled by some foolish game, well, she always seems to make me change my mind. And I feel fine anytime she's around me now. She's around me now, almost all the time. If I'm well, you can tell that she's been with me now. She's been with me now quite a long time, and I feel fine. Every now and then the things I lean on, they lose their meaning, and I find myself careening to the places where I should not let me go. She has the power to go where no one else to find me, as that to silently remind me the happiness, good times that I've known. Lord, it's there, I just got to go now. It isn't what she's got to say, but how she thinks or where she's been. To me, the words are nice the way they sound. I guess I hear them best that way. Doesn't much matter what they mean. Well, she says them mostly just to calm me down. And I feel fine anytime she's around me now. Well, she's around me now almost all the time. And if I'm well, you can tell that she's been with me now. That she's been with me now quite a long, long time. Yes, and I feel fine. That's fun. I enjoyed that. All right, we're going to do a little YouTube karaoke version of Shiny Happy People, as I like to do. Hello. Do, Shiny Happy People. Got it right here. We'll go to there. Nice. That. You hear that? All right. Shiny Happy Shiny, happy people laughing, everyone around. Love them, put it in your hands. Take it, there's no time to cry. Happy, put it in your heart where tomorrow shines. Gold and silver shine. Shiny, happy people holding hands. Shiny, happy people laughing. Oops, missed the break. Shiny, happy people holding hands. Shiny, happy people laughing. Shiny, happy people holding hands. Shiny, happy people laughing. Shiny, happy people holding hands. I like doing that song. What else we got here? Hold on a second. We'll do what's next. Let's see what's the next one. Got to do this one every time. It's the law. And if Donnie shows up, and right, you know, if Donnie will show up if I do this song, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies and rain, and you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, smile from a veil. Do you think you can tell? I like doing that song. All right. I'm going to do it every time. Don't try to stop me. What's the other song I'm going to do every time? This song. Oh, stop. Karaoke version of Losing My Religion. That's actually a good one, too. How's it go? Go. Bigger. Hold on a second. We'll do the song. I think I can play the song. I don't know if I've ever done it before, but no, I'm sure I've done it before. We'll do a little listen. Oh no. fun. You know, I don't know if I've done the karaoke version of that song before. I think it just kind of popped up in my feeds. You know, if you know what I mean. Man, I wish I could play longer, and I wish I could get to the full hour and a half today. But I feel like I have sung a bunch, and I have done my little show. What Thursday's show is a short show. Oh, it's an interesting show, short but not boring, because that whole Dornier DO-31 thing was actually fairly interesting, and I'm like just this far up the learning curve on mastering how to fly that plane. And I'm gonna keep trying. We haven't got engine start procedures done yet, and we haven't figured out how to smoothly transition in some ways. And we did crash a couple times, which is never good, But it was really fun. Then we had a guitar stream, and tomorrow I'm gonna be playing Flight Simulator for the first half of the show, and then we'll have a nice long 2-hour stream, maybe ish. And then we'll be playing a good long keyboard stream. I got a new keyboard last week, my new Roland FP30X. It is a nice keyboard, and I'm really looking forward to spending a lot of time playing the keyboard. Of course, I always enjoy playing this fantastic guitar as well. So let me just switch over here. Again, apologize for the short show, but it is what it is. Excuse me. Oh, that's more comfortable. Okay, so there's some important thing I got to talk to you, everyone, about. First of all, there's a little Diet Coke left, so I have plenty of time to make this discussion with you. It's regarding Carol Burnett. Who I always talk about at this time. So, you know, my show is inspired by the Carol Burnett show from the 70s. And, you know, she had, you know, comedy sketches, live music, and then audience interaction, which I always think is the most key part of her show. That was kind of set her show off from other variety shows at the time. Now, she had a masterful cast of brilliant comedy co-conspirators. She had Tim Conway, Harvey Korman. She had Lyle Wagner and the incomparable Vicki Lawrence. Vicki Lawrence. I don't get any of those people, so I also don't get Carol Burnett. But before I sing my little outro song, I want to mention that Carol Burnett is a Twitch partner. Not like, you know, I'm not a Twitch partner. I'm just an affiliate. She's a partner. And she was banned today for 10 hours, along with Mystery Science Theater 3000, Alf, and the Trailer Park Boys. You know, what happens is I think I figured this out. I haven't figured it out yet. Carol Burnett, as a partner, is a stream that streams her old shows 24 hours a day. And in fact, I'm going to follow her and find out that right now, because that sounds like a completely the kind of thing that I'm completely into. You know, and so they got you know, she's not actually a partner. She doesn't actually stream, Carol Burnett. She is in that show, Palm Royale, which is a pretty good show, on Apple TV. So watch that. She's still acting. And she, at the end of every show, she'd do this. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. And she would do this every time too. She did not drink Diet Coke on the show. Anyway, here's a little interest. I'm also going to raid Milo just so that she knows I'm done with my stream, and I can start saying hi. So see you guys tomorrow around the same time I normally do, a little earlier.